I'm ranking 31 of the most used kits in Bedwars. Now, let's rate Evelyn. This is an amazing kit that you can use to not only outplay your opponents, but get a great boost when you're 1v1ing. The 15 damage boost you get while fighting, and the extra damage you do when you use your sword ability, really allows you to pack the punch when you're in a 1v1 situation. Evelyn's going to be getting a 7 for damage. This kit is amazing, especially when you're in a 1v1 situation, to dominate your opponents, because not only does it give you a shield boost, it also does extra damage when you're fighting somebody and catches them off guard, because you never know where they're teleporting to, and you can get easy kills just like that. And for consistency, Evelyn is going to be getting a 10. You can easily be using Evelyn's damage ability whenever you want, so this doesn't matter if you're in beginning game or late game. You can use this for an insane boost when you're in a 1v1. Let's go. Get the bed.
What are you doing?
Nothing.
Bro looks lost. Someone get him a map. Although Evelyn has some impressive stats with damage and consistency, it doesn't do much for teamwork. This may be a great kit, especially when you're in solos, but once it gets to squads, 30v30, or high-ranking game modes, you're not going to be making that much of a difference for your team if you're the Evelyn kit. So this is going to get Evelyn a 3 for consistency. So in total, this is going to get Evelyn a 6.5 out of 10. One of our best scores, actually. Now, let's rate the Milo kit. Milo is going to get a 6 for damage. You may be like, what are you yapping? But let me show you why. When you use the Milo kit, you can get a shield and a speed buff. This really does help you out when you are in a fight, because that speed boost not only lets you fight people more effectively, but the shield buff also helps you out. When you have 25% more shield in a fight, you're going to win it basically every time. Also, Milo is an insane kit for bed breaking. Not to mention, when you're a block, you have a lower hitbox. For consistency, Milo is gonna get a 10. You can use this kit anytime, anywhere, and the recharge is pretty reasonable. And for teamwork, the Milo kit is gonna get a 7. Here's why. A lot of people in ranked use this kit to break beds, and a lot of people use this kit to maneuver around the map, because you barely get seen. Yeah, that's why the Milo kit is gonna get a total kit rating score of 8. Now, let's rate the Hannah kit. Hannah is going to get a 10 for damage. Its insta-kill ability does an insane amount of damage to any opponent that you're facing. And for consistency, Hannah is going to get a 9. You can use its ability anytime if you need to kill your opponents. But for teamwork, Hannah is going to get a 2. This is not a great kit, especially when you want to support your team. But it is fun in 30v30 because you can easily kill players that are low. This kit gets easy kills, so in total, this is going to get a kit score of 7. Now, let's rate the Electra kit. Electra is the best PvP kit in this game. It's going to get a 10 for damage. For one reason and one reason only, its dash ability. It's not used for movement, it's used for getting behind your opponents when you're in a fight. Like, look, this guy doesn't know where I am because the dash ability literally lets you phase through somebody. I'll do it again. You can set up insane combos with Electra as well, and that's why it's going to get a consistency rating of 8. But for teamwork, Electra is going to get a 0. This isn't a crazy kit to use for team game modes, but it is really fun when you're in solos, because you can basically kill anybody correctly if you've mastered. That's why Electra is going to get a total kit score of 7. Now, let's rate the Jade kit. Jade is going to get a 3 for damage. Jade's hammer ability seriously does not do a lot of damage. Like, I hit that guy and it only did 12. You don't need to do much to get Jade's hammer. It's only 40 iron, so you can seek to get it basically every game. But for teamwork, Jade is going to get a 5. This really doesn't do much for your team in all honesty, but it is a really fun movement kit to run around the map and hopefully get your team some diamonds or emeralds. Like, dude, you can move around so easily with Jade. It can fake out your opponents a lot and get you an easy kill. And that's why Jade is going to get a total kit score of 6. Now, let's rate the Caitlyn kit. Caitlyn's gonna get a 10 for damage. This kit is so good at dealing extra damage to your opponents because the decay effect genuinely gives you such an upper hand when you're in PvP. Like, dude, those 3 damages add up. And if you can actually max out Caitlyn's contracts, you can deal so much damage against other players. And that's why Caitlyn gets a consistency rating of 10 as well. And for teamwork, Caitlyn is gonna get a 7 because Caitlyn kit can be used as the main juggernaut. So if everyone feeds him, you can get insanely stacked and win a lot of games. So Caitlyn gets a total kit score of 9. This is such a fun kit to use. Now, let's rank Pirate Davey. Davey's gonna get a big whopping 0 for damage. This kit actually does more damage to you than you do to other players. But Davey is insane at movement, and that's why it's getting a consistency rating of 10. This kit is so fun to use, especially if you actually know how to use the cannon, because you can move around the map with ease. And on top of that, Davey is great for teamwork. This cannon genuinely lets you move around the map so easily, so you can collect so much loot for your teammates. And that's why Davey gets a teamwork rating of 8. Because if you can successfully use Davey, players don't know how to beat you, bro. And on top of that, you can help your team out so much. So in total, Davey's going to be getting a kit rating score of... Alright, yeah, I had to win the game, sorry. 7. This is a really good kit, but only if you know how to use it. Now, let's rate the Agni kit. Agni is gonna get a 7 for damage. Its jump boost ability, okay, bro's using the same kit. Its jump boost ability is really fun, but that's not the crazy thing about this kit. The craziest thing is its cluster bombs. If you can hit an opponent on target with the cluster bomb, you can do a crazy amount of damage, especially in beginning game. Look at that. 27, and on top of that, there's fire damage that trails it as well. And for consistency, Agni's gonna get a 10. This kit is so fun to use, and you don't need to do anything. It passively creates the grenades, and on top of that, its jump boost reloads every 15 seconds. But for teamwork, Agni's gonna have to get a 3. The only way I think this can help your team out is if you use its jump boost to get across the map and get resources for your team. Otherwise, it's basically useless in the team. And that's why Agni's gonna get a total kit score of 6. Now, let's rate the Bzcat kit. Bzcat's gonna get a 7 for damage. You spawn in with a literal falcon that does damages to your opponents, bro. And the coolest thing is, when your falcon is targeting somebody, your bow attacks do so much more damage to them. So if you like bow spamming, this is the kit for you. But Bzcat is going to get a consistency rating of 7. Truly, this kit is a little bit hard to use if you cannot get stacked on materials fast, because it really only works good when you're, bow spamming. But for teamwork, Bzcat's getting a 3. This is not a great kit in a team situation, but it is a fun kit to use when you're just in solos and want to bow spam. Otherwise, there's better kits to use than this. So in total, Bzcat's going to get a kit score of 5. Now, let's rate the Mech kit. This kit is going to get a 10 for damage, without a doubt. If you could go from the regular Mech to the Void Mech, you can genuinely wipe the lobby. However, it is near impossible to do that in a solos game mode. But it is possible in larger game modes. That's why this kit is going to get a 5 for consistency. But like seriously, this kit just bugs the game out so much. Like players just, the only way you're beating someone in a fight with this kit is they're just scared of you. But for teamwork, this kit is going to get a 3. It's actually a pretty good kit if your team all works together to make you the most stacked out of them. But otherwise, this is not a great kit if you don't have good teamwork and you're just new to the game. So in total, this kit's gonna get a kit rating of 6. It's a fun kit, but man, it's rage inducing. Now let's rate the Grim kit. Although Grim is a crazy kit to use, it's gonna get a 0 for damage. This genuinely does no added damage ability. Consistency. Grim can always be used. All you need to do is just kill your opponent, which is a little bit easier said than done. Don't get me wrong, but this kit can be used basically any game, so long as you play the game right. But for teamwork, Grim is going to get a 2. This is not a great kit when it comes to helping your team out, but it is a really fun kit when it comes to game modes like solos. So in total, Grim is going to get a kit score of 4. Now, let's rate the Void Regent kit. Void Regent's getting a 7 for damage. Although it doesn't do a lot of damage to your opponents, it does let you heal in a PvP fight, which gives you an insane advantage in close fights. And for consistency, Void Regent's going to be getting a 10. Void Regent's axe is only 40 iron, so you should be able to get it each and every game. But for teamwork, Void Regent's only going to be getting a 5. Although Void Regent could be used to like go around the map and collect your team some loot or something, it's not going to deal a lot of damage, and it's not going to really help your teammate out in any way, shape, or form. But you can do fun outplays like this. So in total, Void Regent's getting a kit score of 7. For consistency, Pyro gets a 0. It takes a lot to get 3 emeralds each and every game, and if you can't even get any emeralds, the kit's basically useless. But for teamwork, Pyro is gonna get an 8. This is an insane kit that you can use to not only protect your teammates, but to be used in large team modes like 30v30 or even in ranked. Pyro is great for hurting players, and when you can get that scorch ability on other people, you can help your team out a lot. For damage, Pyro is going to be getting a 10 for a couple of reasons. Although Pyro is a pretty hard kit to master, as soon as you hit somebody with the flamethrower, they become brittle, and a brittle opponent is an opponent that you can easily kill. That's one. Like, look, not only does it do flame ability, but on top of that, you can hit so many people for an insane amount. Look how much damage I'm doing. I just wiped an entire team in 30v30, all because this insanely broken flamethrower. Yeah, this guy's dead. Look at that. We just wiped an entire team because of the Pyro kit. Does that not deserve a 10? So in total, the Pyro kit is going to get a rating of 6. Let me know if that deserves a sub and a like. The next kit we're going to be rating is the Noel kit. Noel is going to get a 7 for damage. The Void Slimes mixed with the Health Slimes give you an insane advantage when you're PvPing somebody. For teamwork, Noel is going to get a 10. This is a great kit that you can use to not only boost yourself, but your team at the same time with your slimes. But the one thing that Noel lacks most is its consistency. Woo! To get each of these slimes, it takes 2 emeralds, and not every game you can get 2 emeralds. So Noel is going to get a 2 for consistency. In total, Noel is going to get a 6.7 for its total score. Slightly below Terra, but still a pretty good kit to use nonetheless. Now, let's rank the Lassie kit. Hear me out, bro. Lassie is going to get a 10 for damage, because I don't care how good you are at the game, when you get pulled into the void, like that. I don't care how good you are, you can't beat that. You literally can't, bro. Kill bro with nothing but my lasso. Really easy, actually. Yeah, literally, it doesn't matter how good players are, bro. All I need is a lasso in the void, and the void's never leaving, you know? I'll just break your bed. And that's why for consistency, yeah, Lassie's gonna get a 7. This is an insanely consistent kit. All you need to do is just buy the lasso. And also for teamwork, Lassie is gonna get a 4. Although it doesn't directly help your team, it can help when players are trying to run away, and you can just pull them in and your entire team kills them. Lassie's so good, I'm winning this game without armor. That's going to give Lassie a total kit score of 7 after we literally just beat the lobby with no armor whatsoever. Does that not deserve a sub? Now, let's rank the Lyla kit. Lyla is going to get a 10 for damage. Lyla's bow is literally like having the fire enchant with a bow. It does an insane amount of damage and it stacks and gives you a great advantage in PvP. And that is just a bow. Just imagine when you start getting items like the floral crossbow. Yeah, you do an insane amount of damage to anybody in your path. Yeah, this guy has full iron armor, yet he still doesn't even want to fight me, simply because of my crossbow. Lyla is going to get an 8 for consistency. I mean, it only takes 24 iron to get a bow, so basically you're going to be using this ability every game. But for teamwork, Lyla is going to get a 1. You're not really going to want to use this kit if you're playing squads, but if you're playing game modes like ranked or 4v4, it's not terrible. So the Lyla kit gets a total kit score of 6. Now, let's rate the Miner kit. Miner is going to get a 0 for damage. It does absolutely no added damage when you're fighting opponents. But it is going to get a 10 for consistency. Because when you kill someone and mine their body, you can get stuff like emeralds 30 seconds into the game. It's broken. And for teamwork, Miner is going to get an 8. This is a really great kit if you have someone who is OP at fighting and on top of that, good at feeding your teammates. Because if you can make your Miner kit stacked, you can get so much loot. So in total, Miner is going to get a kit score of 6. Now, let's rate the Nyx kit. Nyx is going to get a 10 for damage. Its midnight ability truly can kill anybody in a PvP battle because it does an insane amount of damage. There's a reason a lot of people use this kit for rank. And for consistency, Nyx is going to get a 7. All you gotta do to charge up its ability is just do damage. Like, I literally got it almost max charge just by doing something like that. If you're facing a tough opponent, all you got to do is activate that midnight ability, and I promise you, you could beat them in the PvP. Nyx is an insanely fun kit to use, especially if you're in game modes like ranked or you have teammates that can feed you. This is going to get it a total kit score of 7. Now, let's rate the Star Collector Stella. Stella is going to be getting a 0 for damage. It's a fun kit, but it doesn't really add any damage to your opponents. But one thing about Stella is it is crazy consistent. There are so many stars on the map, so you can always get the boost that this kit gives you. And for teamwork, Stella is gonna get a 10. This kit is insane, especially in team games like 30v30 and in ranked, because it gives such a huge boost to your teammates. This kit is so broken, I already have 120 health 5 minutes into the game. Crazy. So that's why Stella's getting a kit score of 7. Now, let's see how good the Umco kit is. Umco's gonna get a damage rating of 5. The one thing is that's really cool about this kit is it has the shurikens, which do an insane amount of damage, especially in the beginning game. Although its run animation's a little bit goofy because we're not in an anime, the chakram literally does a crazy amount of damage. All you just need is high ground on somebody. And for consistency, Umco is going to get a 7. This kit is really consistent. To get invisibility, you genuinely don't have to do anything. But to get the chakram, all you need is 20 iron. It's pretty insane. And that chakram is extremely helpful when you don't have things like a bow. This kit's actually really fun if you can get high ground on somebody. But for teamwork, Umco is going to get a 0. Truly, this kit does not help your team out in any way, shape, or form. It's more so of a solos kit to use. And another cool thing is if you're in a PvP encounter and you can click really fast, you can hit them with the sword, crossbow, and use the chakram at the same time. That's going to give you an insane advantage in PvP. So in total, Umco is going to get a kit score of 4. It's not a great kit, but it is fun to use in game modes like solos. Now, let's rate the Sheep Herder kit. Sheep Herder is going to be getting a 7 for damage. If you can manage to actually get sheeps with you, you can do a good amount of damage to players. But here's the thing, getting sheeps is so hard to do around the map, and when you die, you lose every single one of them. So that's why Sheep Herder is getting a consistency score of 3. Sheep Herder is going to get a 3 for teamwork. The only way this can really help your squad is if you get maxed out sheeps and they feed you all their loot. So Sheep Herder is going to get a total kit score of 3. Not a great kit in all honesty. Let's rank the Crypt kit. Crypt is going to get a 10 for damage. Literally all you need to do is play 30v30 modes and you can farm easy skeletons. And for consistency, Crypt is going to get a 7. You could basically use the skeleton ability anytime, especially when you're in large team modes like 30v30. But for teamwork, Crypt is going to get a 0. It really doesn't help your team out. It just spawns skeletons that distract other people. So that's the reason why Crypt is going to get a 0. So in total, the Crypt kit is going to get a 5 out of 10. Now, let's rate the Yamini kit. Yamini is going to get a 0 for damage. It doesn't really do a lot of damage to your opponents, but it does allow you to jump walls like this. And that's why Yamini is going to get a 10 for consistency. It is insane with movement. And this kit can give you such a head start in early game against your opponents. But it is a really fun kit to use in large team modes or solos because its movement is broken. And that's why the Yamini kit is going to get a total kit rating score of 4. It's not the best kit, but man, is it good when you're playing solos. Let's rate the Leanne kit. Leanne obviously is going to get a 10 for damage because it can do stuff like that. In the beginning of the game, 30 damage is an insane advantage, and later on, that fire damage stacks. Because look, that chipped half of bro's health off in beginning game. Yeah, he looks lost, bro. Bro is shivering his timbers. He doesn't even want to fight because he knows he's gonna lose. Another great thing about this kit is it's insanely consistent. You don't have to do anything to get Leanne's ability. All you have to do is just buy the kit. You hop down, get him a little bit low, and bro looks lost. GG's, buddy. Yeah, that's gonna get a 10 for consistency. But for teamwork, Leanne kit is gonna get a 2. Leanne is really only good for solos. There's no way you're gonna be using this kit in any other game mode. Outplayed. I just love this kit for that reason. But frankly, Leanne is not good for any other game mode besides solos. So if you're good at solos, you could use this kit, but any other team mode, not the move, bro. But overall, Leanne is gonna get a 7 out of 10. I would use this kit, but only for solos. Let's rank the Archer kit. For consistency, Archer is gonna get a 7 out of 10. Not only does Archer's ability apply to the regular bow, but the tactical crossbow as well. It's a little bit hard to get the tactical crossbow every freaking game because it's 6 emeralds, but I mean, you can just buy a regular bow. The main problem of Archer kit is it basically gives you no boost in beginning game, which is not good, especially when you have to fight players who use kits that give them an advantage. But for teamwork, Archer is gonna get a 1. This is not a great kit, especially when you're in a team situation. You're gonna want to use basically any other kit than Archer when you're in a team situation, but this kit's great for solos. And for damage, Archer is gonna get a 10 because of this crossbow right here. It shoots fast and it hits hard. Now, let's rate the Yuzi kit. Yuzi is gonna get an 8 for damage. Its Dow does an insane amount of damage when you're against players. For one reason and one reason only, its dash ability. The one downside with consistency is Yuzi swords cost a lot more than regular swords. The diamond Dow, instead of a diamond sword being 4 emeralds, costs 5 emeralds, which is not easy to get. And for consistency also, Yuzi is gonna get an 8. Oh, bro died to the Monarch. GG's, buddy. GG's. But for teamwork, Yuzi is gonna get a 4. This is not a great kit when it comes to protecting your team. In total, Yuzi is a really fun kit to use, especially in solos. This is gonna get a total kit score of 7. Now, let's rank the Freya kit. For consistency, Freya is gonna get a 10. You don't have to use anything to have Freya's ability, and Freya's sword is insanely cheap to acquire. And boy is its sword OP. For damage, Freya is gonna get a 10. Its Freya's sword does a crazy amount of damage, and you can get it really easily. And not to mention, you don't have to use anything to get Freya's ability, and you can easily kill people with it. With Freya, you can easily dominate lobbies with people who have no clue what they're doing. But for teamwork, Freya is gonna get a 5. Freya does not do a great job at protecting your team, but it does do a great job of dishing out damage. So in total, Freya is gonna get a kit score of 8.
Now, let's rate Tunde. Tunde is going to get a 10 for damage, but only if you can max out its sword. Otherwise, it's terrible. Because when you get Tunde's maxed out hammer, you can do a crazy attack like this and completely destroy the map. It's insane. It not only destroys blocks, bed defense, but it destroys opponents as well. It is literally near impossible to get Tunde's max upgrade unless you're in 30v30 or a game that lasts like 20 minutes. So this is going to get Tunde a consistency rating of 1. Tunde is just a little bit broken if you can actually use it right. So this is going to get it a teamwork rating of 3. So Tunde is going to get a total score of 5.
Now, let's rate the Gingerbread kit. Gingerbread is going to get a 5 for damage. This kit is really fun to use, especially when you're in a 1v1 situation. Because you can easily outplay opponents way more stacked than you and hit them off the map. They'd never expect it. I have nothing and bro had everything and still got comboed by me. And on top of that, Gingerbread gives you 30 shield that you can use in fights. It's pretty OP, especially when you're in an intense situation. But for consistency, Gingerbread is gonna get a 5. This kit is not that consistent because it costs 40 iron to get the gumdrop. It's not really gonna help you in any really early game situations, but later on it will. And especially players that think they can freaking build up just like this, you can easily hit them off. And if it gets intense, just fall into the gumdrop and you don't have to worry about any fall damage whatsoever. And for teamwork, Gingerbread is going to get a 6. Here's why. This is a great kit that you can use to distract your opponents. If they try and sneak up on your base, you can catch them off guard. So in total, the gumdrop kit is going to get a total kit score of 6. Anyways, like if you agree and comment what kit you want to see next. If you enjoyed seeing every kit getting ranked, feel free to go subscribe and check this video out right here.